Hello pretties, welcome to Best Style. Today I'm not wearing makeup because quite honestly, I could not be bothered. If you hear some growling, I'm not quite sorry. It's just my dogs are a little insane, as you have known, and I swear they were quiet 2 seconds prior to me starting this video, but it is what it is. So we're gonna do a speed reviews, kind of like Q1 update on everything that I bought in Q1. If you want to hear like numbers, amounts, and all that stuff, I'm gonna leave below the original video with like the haul, because I talked about all that stuff there, and I went into some other stuff too. Now there's quite a few items that I'm not gonna mention because quite honestly they're constant repurchases for me, so it doesn't make sense for me to update you on me like repurchasing the same skincare that I always repurchase. It just wouldn't be interesting. So instead I'm just going to talk about things that I think you would be more interested in, which is talking about like specific tools that I enjoyed and some makeup products that are somewhat new to me. So gonna go on that. All right, so let's get started. I'm not gonna go in particular order. It's just gonna be what makes more sense to me. So I made 2 Makeup Geek orders in this first quarter of 2022, and I have these green shades right here is what I purchased from that, and I gotta say I really enjoy them. I like them a lot. I already knew I liked the matte formula, and I already knew I liked the shimmer formula because these pink ones right here, I owned them previously, so I already knew that I liked it. I still enjoy it. I think these colors are very vibrant. I will say I really do like this shade, although it wasn't supposed to be quite this olive. I think it was supposed to be more of an emerald shade, but it has a very strong olive undertones, which I personally really enjoy. So yeah, no complaints there. I ended up placing a second order here, and there's more olive, more neutral tones, and then some pinks right here where I thought were really cute. I am really happy with this, although I haven't really touched it, but I'm confident that the formula in Makeup Geek is pretty consistent across the board, so I'm confident I'm gonna like this just fine. I haven't really play with it because I ordered it like early into Q1, but it got here like a week or 2 ago, and that's because they were so backed up with the logs. Now they're closing down, and obviously didn't have the staff to send it out, so I just got it. So I really haven't played with it too much, even though like I said I placed that order in Q1. And I also got a little compact whatever, because why not? Now for Makeup Geek, I ended up getting a couple of tools from them, and it was some brushes. I'm pretty sure I got a couple more. Oh yeah, it's sticking over here. And I gotta say, I like them. They're fine quality. I don't necessarily like how closely packed this is. I feel like it blends really well. I feel like it's a little hard for blending at times, but it blends everything out beautifully. Now this brush right here is the brush that impressed me because it's so easy, especially when you want to do like an all matte smoky eye, which I love to do just a lot, just to grab the shadow and then just place it all over the lid, and then just you can blend it right there because it's fluffy enough where you can still blend it. So this specific brush really impressed me, and I ended up buying multiple of them because since I placed 2 orders, I bought them in both orders, and it's a multi-purpose eye brush. Really like it. You can also use it underneath, and I just really like it for packing. So there is that. Now a couple more things I got from Makeup Geek is the sponges, because again they had a huge discount, so I figured I might as well. I didn't love the sponge as much. It's just a little hard. It blends everything really well, so no complaints there. It's just a little harder than what I'm used to. The ColourPop, Real Techniques, and L'Oreal Los Angeles sponges that I use more regularly, those are so soft, and this one just felt a little hard. I will say it doesn't absorb too much product. I know it doesn't look like it right here, but it doesn't absorb too much product, which is a pro for me, but I don't know, it was a little too hard. Nothing wrong with it, it works just fine, it's just a little hard. So I didn't love that. And then I ended up buying these 2 glosses, which I quite honestly have only touched like once or twice, and I like the formula. It's just, I wasn't expecting them to be, well, mini. They're tiny. This is my thumb. I have small hands, by the way, and it is so tiny. There's almost no product in these things. They're cute though. I'm sure I'll eventually go through them really quickly. Like if I focus on them, I'm sure I can get it done in like a month or 2, which with the way I use lip gloss, no surprise. But that's okay. Not in a hurry to use those up right now. Okay, I think that's everything from Makeup Geek. So as you know, I did buy one of the mystery boxes from Lunar Beauty. I've never tried anything from Lunar Beauty, but I've been very interested in them. And I want to say though, after me buying this stuff, I'm even more interested in them now. One thing I honestly still haven't used is this highlighter right here, and it's because I think, oh, the contact is beautiful and I would like to make it work for me, and I've swatched it on my face. It's just a little too hard. I do have a naturally bronzy skin tone, so I feel like I can maybe get away with it, but you see that it's just a little hard. I can probably get away with this as a blush, but I don't want to use a highlighter as a blush. That's just not my aesthetic. What I'm trying to do is, my sister says she's gonna be coming short in a little bit. I'm not sure when it's in a little bit, and this have quite a few things prepared to see if she's interested in any of them, and this is one of them because my sister is significantly darker than me, so I think that maybe she'll really love it, and she loves Manny as well, so I think she might just really enjoy it. And I think, like I said, the compact is beautiful. Just look at that. It's just not the right shade for me, and like I said, I can make it work, but if my sister will love it, might as well do that. But that's pretty much the only dud I got from Lunar Beauty. Everything else was a straight up hit. The brushes, let me tell you, the brushes are good, and these are shapes that I'm familiar with, and I have quite a few brushes that are quite like this. I've never had a brush with this shape right here, and it's essentially a blending brush that's a little tighter, but it's just in a smaller version. So you see that it's just significantly smaller, but it's essentially the same kind of brush. And this kind of brush is it's been around forever. It's really good. I really love it for blending my crease and also for building the outer corner. So again, quality wise, fine. But this brush, I've never had anything like this, and it honestly like changed the game for me because it's not too detailed, so you can still definitely fluff. Like this one's a little too small, like you're really concentrating in that area. This one's small enough where you can really build, pack, and move without being significantly smaller. This one is the LBE3, and I'm really, like, if I place a Lunar Beauty order in the future, this will be one that I will repurchase, and get a couple extra ones because it was so nice. It just really shocked me how nice this brush was. The LBE3. Just want to put it out there, LBE3. You did it, baby. Oh, I forgot to pull another palette. Okay, sorry. I just realized I missed one. All right. From that same mystery box, I ended up getting the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism, which I want to say this palette has been in my wish list for over a year. And I finally got in the mystery box, and I was really nervous that I wasn't gonna get it, but I was doing the math, and if I wouldn't even potentially get it, I needed to get the second box, and I'm glad I did because I got exactly what I wanted. I got the Eternal Eclipse palette, and I got Moon Prism, and is it Moon Prism? Yeah, it is Moon Prism, and I love it. I really like it. I will say this is not as glittery and shimmery as I thought it was gonna be, but still gives that highlighting effect without being obviously a highlighter. So I quite enjoy it, and Lord, my dogs, give me a second. Okay, I've gotten a lot of use out of this four right here, and some use out of this one. It's not my particular favorite thing, but I haven't really touched Pink Moon at all, and I'm sure you can see it. Like, there's no disturbance in that pan whatsoever, while the other ones, like I said, there's quite a bit of use. But hey, 1 out of 6, we're still hitting it pretty strong, so I'm really enjoying it. I've been traveling with it a lot, and I'm sure you've noticed that if you see my unpack with me that I've filmed recently, you'll be able to see that. Also from there, I got the sponge. I really love this sponge. This is another one where I want to repurchase it. It's soft, it blends nicely, and it almost feels like it's silicone based because it doesn't absorb a lot of product, and you're gonna be able to see it. Again, I know it looks dark, but it's just black, you know, and it is what it is. But it just blends right so well, and it absorbs water really well without absorbing the product. I really enjoyed it. If I am making a Lunar Beauty purchase, this is gonna go in that basket for sure. Okay. I'm trying to make sure my dogs don't go crazy. Okay, so moving along. Also from Lunar Beauty, the last of it was obviously a Turning Eclipse, and I did do a 1 week 1 palette, and I believe I kept it on for a little bit longer. And I gotta say, I'm quite impressed with the mattes in this formula. I really liked it. I really like that this two shades right here, the smoke and the navy blue, were quite deep and smoky, and they had like a true black undertone, which made it actually quite easier for me to use, because gray usually looks very ashy on me, but because it was black based, it was easy for me to pack it on. Same thing with this blue right here. Because it's black based, it was easier for me to pack it on in the outer corners, and again, not look muddy and ashy on me, which is honestly something that I struggle with a lot, because I do have very strong olive undertones, and a lot of things clash on my skin tone, and things don't always translate the same way. But no, this was not an issue. Now, my dogs. Okay, finally got Athena and Gaia to stop fighting by getting Athena to sit here with me. So, you know, she's so beautiful. Okay, thank you, Zeus. I appreciate it. Now, my qualm with this palette was quite honestly with the shimmers. I don't love the formula. Some of the shimmers I have no problem with, but some of them were more like toppers, but they don't not supposed to be toppers. So see, this one's more metallic, but the ones that were a little softer, I didn't particularly care for those. So there's that. But the ones that are metallic, again, quite beautiful. This meteor shade was honestly, I was not expecting it. It looks quite, this is one where, again, I don't care for the formula. It's a little, it looks more like a topper, but the actual color itself, I don't believe it was described as a duochrome or anything. Oh gosh, Athena. It was not described as a duochrome, but it has like a duochrome effect. See, this is what I mean. It takes quite a bit to build it up, but once you build it up, it's quite beautiful. So there's that. Nothing wrong with the palette itself. I'm really interested in his new one that he just dropped, but I don't need any more palettes right now. So I'm gonna hold off on that for a while. I'm sure he'll have it around for a while, so if I want to purchase it later on, maybe I'll buy it on sale later, and if I do, I'll make sure to buy some extra of these two as well. Last thing from Lunar Beauty that was also in the mystery box is the glosses. I will say the component in this are beautiful, 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 but there's just not a lot of product. And I mentioned that the moment I said I got them. This 0.10 is okay. These are 0.07. These are 0.10. There's literally a third of a difference, gosh, between these two. But the size differential is, look how bulky this is. These look like full-size glosses, but like I said, there's just not a lot of product in them. I will say though, they're really long-lasting. They're easy to layer on top of other things from what I've noticed. And they just last a really long time. You don't have to reapply them as often as necessarily other glosses. It's just, I can't get over how expensive these are for how little product you're getting. That's really a problem for me, because if you've seen any of my project pans, you know, I go through glosses like it's water, okay? So this is disappointing because I know I'm gonna get through them in a couple of weeks. That's it. So that's sad. And you know what? With this minis, I paid less than like $5 for them, so I don't particularly mind how small they are. But, and granted, I did get a huge, oh gosh, I did get a huge discount on these, but knowing that this is $17 and you're only getting essentially a mini size is bonkers, because a mini from Fenty is 0.18. It's 0.10 for full size. I just can't get over that. It's too much. But all right, moving along. I also got some things from ColourPop specifically. I got two duochrome shadows. I got this right here, which is Tea Garden. And then what's the name of this one? It's Shine. And they're both supposed to be duochrome shades. So I'm gonna, everyone loves a nice like duochrome swatch. I don't know about you guys, but I find it so satisfying to see that flip. I will say that Tea Garden has a very different flip than what I thought I was gonna see. Whilst Earthshine, I almost don't see a flip. See, you can definitely see the flip with Tea Garden, But with Earth Shine, I just don't see it. And it's more visible in the pan. Like in the pan, you can definitely see that flip. But in the eye, you don't see it. So I feel like Earth Shine was a flop. But it wasn't an expensive flop. So it makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, that was, I don't think that's a duochrome at all. It might have some different color shimmers in it, but I don't think that makes it a duochrome per se. So there's that. Now I bought 3 single shadows from Urban Decay, and now these are expensive, but let's not talk about that. And I'm not particularly sure because I didn't buy them all at once, but there's that. So there's Lucid, and Lucid is like a white translucent. It almost looks like a mermaid shade, like a mermaid scale. That's the best way I can describe it. And it's just, it looks white, it looks teal, it looks blue, it looks green, and it's really pretty. Their bestseller for a long time is Space Cowboy. You know, everybody talks about it. It reminds me of Ritz from ColourPop, the Super Shock Shadow. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just that, yeah, no, that's the best way I can describe it. It reminds me of Ritz a lot. Obviously, the formula is very different, but I think it's a pretty good dupe for it. So if you've had Ritz before, there's that. And then there is Psych, which is this emerald green, and it's just a real pretty emerald green. There's that. It has a bit of a duochrome flip to it, I feel like, but maybe I'm just imagining things. This one reminds me a lot of Wishful Winking from ColourPop. I haven't done a side-by-side comparison, but there's that. Okay, hold on. These dogs are killing me. All right, but this is Psych, and then this right here is Wishful Winking, and sure enough, they're almost identical. Just Psych has a more green undertone, like emerald green, which Wishful Winking is a little bit darker, but minimal difference. So if you want to get Psych on a budget, Wishful Winking from ColourPop. And again, that's my fault. I'm okay with it though. Wishful Winking is one of my favorite shades from ColourPop. I wish they had that shade in a Super Shock formula, because I think that would be a really interesting shade to see in that, like that. But even the way it like stains my hand is the same. Oh gosh. So I essentially bought a more expensive version of the same shade I already own. Beautiful. Regardless, I really like this formula. I've gotten a lot of use out of them, and I really like it. I just, again, this too I feel like can be duped by ColourPop. Oh, no, sorry. This too I feel like can be duped by ColourPop. So let's move along. Let's not talk about that. From Los Angeles, I made just a handful of orders from them. A lot of them was just repurchasing some brushes that I really like this one right here. Oh, it's so soft. There's something about it. So nice. And this big board brush right here. I keep wanting to buy her, what's it called? What's the number? L11. But with the new ones that are the black ones, because I like this bristles better than this white ones. And every time it comes on stock, I end up missing it by like literally a minute. But there's that. Also from Los Angeles, I purchased some of the sponges. I keep repurchasing them. I keep them on stock at all times. My favorite sponge. It is what it is. And then I got her little Valentine's Day lip trio, which my favorite shade is by far Spicy Pink. Spicy Pink right here is my favorite one. It's just a little bit deeper, and it just dries down into a beautiful rosy pink, and I really like it. So this is my favorite one out of the 3. Nothing wrong with the other 2. It's just for my skin tone, this one works better. I did film a video like swatching these, so if you want to check that out, you can. I'll link it. All right, and I did buy 2 things from Ulta. It was these right here. Now, this I'm actually wearing right now. I actually really enjoy it, although I haven't really played with it too much. But it's a nice tinted lip balm. It just works perfectly. It almost looks like my regular lips, except it's more pinky. My lip is a little more mauve. It is what it is. I don't know why. Also got this lip liner from Ulta. See, in my hand, it looks like a deep pink. In my lips, okay, you can't tell because I have the other thing underneath, but in my lips, it looks quite pale, and I don't understand why it looks so much deeper in my hand than it does on my lips. And once I've tried on my lips, it's not my favorite shade because I was expecting something a lot darker, and that's not the way it translates in my lips. So there's that. Also from Sephora, I ended up getting this new shade from Red Beauty in Hope, which I think is my favorite shade. And I want to finish all my other Rare Beauty ones and just keep this one. It just has a pink where it's not like, what is it, Bliss? Yes, Bliss. Bliss is a little too light for my skin tone. This one's quite a bit darker. It has more neutral undertones, whereas the other one had more warm undertones. And I personally quite enjoy it. So I'm really glad I have this. My dogs are at it again. All right, we're almost done. We just got to wrap this up. From Sephora, I got Mercury Retrograde from Hela Beauty. I've been wanting to try Hela out for a while, and out of all the palettes, I felt like this one was one that offered me the most variety. A lot of her palettes seem to be a little too monochromatic, which is not my aesthetic. So, oh gosh. Great. Just got glitter on my finger. Again, not my aesthetic to go monochromatic, so I wanted to try something that would offer me more variety, and I felt like this was it. I will say I do like the blues in this palette, which is never something I say, but I like the blues in this palette. I think they work well. My biggest problem with this palette is honestly that the shades don't quite match what they look like in the pan, in the sense of if it's orange, it's still gonna pull a little pink. If it's neutral, it's still gonna look a little pink. If it's blue, it's still gonna, it says purple, it's still gonna look a little pink. Everything just looks a little pink, including like the very warm shades, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's not to say that there is still not those undertones that you see here, but there's something very pink about it. It's just weird. I've never had a palette do that. There's definitely a lot of different formulas in the shimmers. Don't love all of them, but the really chunky ones, for whatever reason, I really enjoyed. I not want to ever say that because I don't particularly care for chunky like shadows, but there's something about these chunky ones that are quite good. I do recommend still a glitter glue with them. And I know this palette's also, I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'm just glad I got it in a huge discount. I think I got it for more than 50% off. I think it was more like 60. So great deal, and I finally got to try Huda Beauty. But that being said, I'm not enticed to try anything else from Huda Beauty. I did do a 1 week one palette. If you're interested in seeing that, I'll just have to link it up here. All right, and then last thing is the Hela Palette. And I love the Hela Palette. Now, these ones are nice duochromes. I will say I was having a little bit of issues with some of the mattes, but not too much. And I pretty much used everything here except for the really bright fuchsia. It's just not my aesthetic. The shade right here, River, so nice. I really enjoyed Goddess. Oh my goodness, I made this really like deep smoky eye with Goddess all over the lid, and it was beautiful. The shade right here is it Decay. Decay has a really strong undertones, very strong olive undertones, but they were actually quite easy to manipulate and be able to make it more of a neutral shade depending on what you put underneath. So I just really appreciated that. And surprisingly, the shade that I could not live without was actually Wolf, right here. It has like a very yellowy undertone, but it needed that in order to like transition some of these things for me. So I really enjoyed this palette. I was very happily with it. Now, in order to reach my threshold of free shipping, I ended up buying this brush. I've bought this brush before. They always have it on sale for whatever reason. It's always the right amount that I need in order to be able to do free shipping for like 50 cents more. So I ended up getting it. There's nothing wrong with this. I think it's a fine blending brush, except for the fact that it feels like it's a little loose. And I have another brush from them that is the exact same brush, and it has the same feeling where it feels like it's a little loose and it's hard to explain. It just feels like this is not quite attached right, but other than that it's $6. I can't complain, okay? And then I bought Fig Gem because I thought it would be a dupe for my favorite lip from which is Kiss Miss from Los Angeles, and I was mistaken. Although the undertones are quite similar, I will say the component on this, beautiful. Except the undertones are quite similar. It's just not quite the same So I can't quite complain. I feel like I'm close enough where I can kind of deal with it. It's just that this one's a little bit darker and this one's just a little bit more bright. It is what it is. Not a bad shade match, which is what I was trying to do, which is find a dupe. I think it's close enough dupe where I can live with it. And that's pretty much everything. This is a real long video, so I'm going to wrap it up right here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Is there any of these products that you've tried before? Let me know what you think. If you think differently from me, and if these were like complete glitters, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Bye, guys.